What's up fam, thanks once again for tuning into the channel. I am going to be wearing my Supreme gloves again, and I am going to be giving you guys some advice on how to travel without the Wi-Fi and without the food. So let's get into this video. So if you guys didn't know, I have recently just come from Singapore. I had an awesome time because you know your boy had some pretty cool plans when we were actually there. Before the actual trip, I have to say I was super excited. The one thing I was worried about was actually my airline that I was going with. So if you guys don't know, I was traveling with Scoot Airlines to Singapore, and I was traveling with AirAsia back to Melbourne. Now Scoot and AirAsia, they're one of the really super budget airlines when it comes to international flights. If you guys didn't know that, so I have never actually flown with them before. Usually I fly with low budget airlines when I'm just going to interstate like Sydney or going to Adelaide or Queensland. So I thought if I can easily do it from Melbourne to Sydney, I can easily do it from Melbourne to Singapore. And I gotta admit, yeah, it was definitely not what I expected. So I did approach this journey with a lot of high hopes and also a lot of optimism, but I must say my patience was really tested. Now, first of all, I do not discourage anyone from traveling with Scoot or AirAsia in the future, but I really do suggest to you guys that you really look at the actual inclusions in the flight itself, because you don't want to be like me. And I knew what I was getting myself into, but I booked months and months in advance because I wanted that cheaper flight, right? And when it actually came to the actual date of my flight, I kind of, forgot the inclusions and what was not included, and I was really unprepared for the actual flight. So if you guys didn't know, the reason why the budget airlines are a lot cheaper is because they don't include a lot of the things that are included normally for the bigger major airlines. So let me get into these deductions that they don't include with the Scoot or AirAsia airlines. So number one is food. They don't include food. There is no complimentary blankets or pillows. There is absolutely no in-flight entertainment, so because of that they also don't provide headphones. And the major thing that they don't include is the Wi-Fi. Now I'm going to tell you guys straight up, you can get all these things, okay? You can get all these things in your actual flight, but you have to pay for them. They're not in standard inclusions like they would be for the bigger airlines like Emirates or like Qantas and all those other kind of airlines. I actually don't remember all the kind of different pricings it would be if you actually bought it, those kind of items like the food, the blankets and all that kind of stuff, like when you're actually buying the ticket. But I do remember the price, like the major price for the Wi-Fi if you want to get some. So I remember when I was looking at the prices for the Wi-Fi you can get on board, there was 500 megabytes that you can buy, which ended up costing around $65 for just 500 megabytes. Now that's huge. That's a huge amount. Like that's how much I almost pay for my normal plan for 20 gig for my mobile for a month. And so I don't know if that gives you guys a little bit of indication how much that is, but it is very expensive. Now also what I did learn, because of the poor lady that was kind of behind me, a couple of rows behind me, she actually did purchase some some in-flight Wi-Fi. Now the problem with her was when you buy it online. You have to buy it online. You have to buy it on their website. Now to buy it on their website you need data. So once you come onto the plane, they tell you to turn off your data. So how are you supposed to get that, like that code or that password to access your Wi-Fi? So there was a little bit of back and forth that was going on between the stewardess and that lady. And I remember the stewardess also, she could say, was that like they don't handle the Wi-Fi system. So in her defense of the stewardess, she couldn't really do anything, literally, because she doesn't handle that side. But it's really unfair for the actual lady that did buy the actual Wi-Fi on board, and she couldn't even use it. If you're a local person, I think the chance to actually, confirm your Wi-Fi subscription or whatever for Scoot Airlines or AirAsia is to do it while everyone's putting all their luggage inside, because that's your chance. Because if you don't do that by then because you still have reception on your own phone before you turn it to airplane mode, so that's the time to actually get your code or whatever so that you can actually use a Wi-Fi. But I would really highly suggest don't buy the Wi-Fi because it is super expensive. So another thing is they don't actually provide food with your normal ticket. I do remember when I was actually purchasing my ticket, they asked, do you want in-flight meals? And I know I said no. Other people might be like 8 to 9 hours on a flight and you didn't eat. That would have been like really hard. But to tell you the truth, guys, it was actually pretty easy for me. I actually do intermittent fasting, so I do 16 hours without eating, so this wasn't really hard for me. And also I was rationing my mints. My mints were the ones that were actually helping me keep going. I don't know, I just didn't need food. Even though I could smell food around me, I was okay. Anyway guys, that's just a little bit of a rant that I had with my first experiences with Scoot and AirAsia Airlines. Now of course I really do suggest that if you do want to go with them and these kind of little inconveniences don't really bother you, then go with them, because they do offer the cheapest prices for airline tickets. Because usually for me, if I travel more than 4 hours to a destination by plane, I like to have those kind of conveniences of having my own TV with the in-flight system, having food and all these kind of different other kind of features with the actual airline. But you know, if you're good with all that kind of stuff, then you could probably travel with Scoot or AirAsia all the time. So now guys, I'm going to give you some tips on what to do if you are taking this actual flight where you don't have to pay for the Wi-Fi or you don't have to actually pay for the food while you are on the actual airplane. So my first piece of advice is to actually stock up on movies, on episodes, on podcasts on your iPhone before the actual trip. I don't know how it works with Android, but if you can do that kind of thing as well, I would really highly suggest you do that too. If you can fit as much movies as you can, try to fit it on. I don't know, maybe 5 movies or something, just so that you take the major chunk of the flight time out with those actual movies. You can also bring your laptop. This also provides another form of entertainment, and also you can get some work done while you're actually on the flight. Another thing to note is with these kind of budget airlines, they do not have those USB chargers for your phone. So if I were you, please bring a power bank. This really saves your life, especially with your phone, because it helps you get that much more from your phone and gives you that much more entertainment. Now, if you don't have those kind of electronics, you can always bring a book. Guys, I'm telling you, any form of entertainment is good entertainment. So reading a book that you actually really like can actually help the time go past a lot quicker. You can always just sleep as well, but I don't know how much sleep you can actually get on a flight. It depends. If you're like me, I'm a kind of a restless sleeper, so it's hard to sleep sometimes. If you can knock yourself out with like a pill or something, like a legal pill, knock yourself out and you know, just sleep most of the way, because the actual attendants don't actually bother you, especially when the food carts come past. They don't wake you up or anything, so you should be all good to go. And if you're the kind of person that really needs the kind of food during the flight that can't like last for 8 or 9 hours without eating, you can sort of bring your own snacks onto the plane. I don't know, different airlines have different rules of course, but what I experienced with my Scoot airline, from going from Melbourne to Singapore, there was a family next to me and they had their own food. But you can bring like chips and stuff in your hand carry and stuff. If you're gonna do this, make sure that you put like a pinhole in the actual packet, because when you go into the air, the cabin pressure does kind of inflate the you know, the chip packets, and they can inflate so much that they can actually pop. So but if you put the pinhole, nothing happens. It's just like a normal you know, normal regular chip packet. So that's just a little bit of advice for you guys. Also, you can't bring water from outside the actual airport into the airport because of the security systems that they have, the security checkpoints. Now after these security checkpoints, when you're into the main terminal with all the shops and stuff, you can buy whatever you want there, and then you can bring that onto the plane. So if you can stock up on that before you actually come onto the plane, that would be good. Another format of advice I would give for you guys is that if you want to fly, try flying on a weekday. They're usually cheaper. If you have a flight that's usually during the day or the afternoon, it usually results in having you know, a lot of vacant seats. This may end up with you having a whole row to yourself. That's what I had when I went from Melbourne to Singapore. I had a whole row to myself, so you can actually stretch your legs and stuff. Another little precaution I would probably say is to actually bring those earbuds. Now the earbuds that I'm talking about, the ones that block out noise, or if you have headphones that actually noise cancel as well. These are like wondrous for you, especially if there's like those crying babies out there that have, you know, that are born to be like opera singers, kind of those kind of babies. You kind of really need those earplugs or earbuds, whatever they are. It also doubles up as well if you're actually sleeping at your destination and you have a roommate that has really bad snoring. Especially if you just want to sleep as well, it just helps you kind of just lock everything out and have that much of a little bit more of a peaceful sleep. Also as well guys, travel insurance is really important. It's just peace of mind for your luggage and for yourself when you are overseas. Make sure you actually give this information to your family or loved ones for your like kind of emergency contacts, so that they know what kind of cover you have. Anyway guys, these are just kind of the tips that I have to help you guys travel through those kind of really long flights that don't have the best kind of amenities like the, you know, the Wi-Fi and the food. You know, there's always ways to go around them. It just involves a little bit more preparation on your part. So I hope you guys actually did find something out with the kind of information that I gave you guys. Also, if you did like the content and you did like learn something new, please give me that big thumbs up. Thank you once again for actually watching this video. The new Singapore vlog is coming really soon. I just thought I'd give this one out to provide some content for you guys and my viewers. All my normal viewers probably know why I actually wear these, because they're Supreme. They're Supreme gardening gloves. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet guys, please subscribe. There'll be more videos in Singapore coming soon right at you, and I'm actually really excited to actually show you guys. There's so much stuff that actually went down in Singapore. Thanks once again for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.